Been studying them, and here he is now to fill us in.
Thank you, Michael. Well, there's one late change on the Laois team, but we'll go to Dublin first. We'll tell you about Laois in a minute. Jason Sherlock recalled to the Dublin team for his first championship start of '07. He replaces Mossy Quinn. He's named at corner forward, but he's likely to play in a deeper position. Bernard Brogan. Chris Conway has been left out because of injury. He's replaced by Bino MacDonald. The other change made during the week was Peter O'Leary replacing Donny Brennan. Ross Munnelly and Michael Tierney have also moved into the Laois full forward line. Here they were still in their huddle, and the Dublin players in there a few seconds before them. But what a sight Croke Park is. What an occasion this is. A sellout. 82,500 tickets were sold for this 2007 Leinster Senior Football Final. About 2/3 full, but the normal start time of 4 o'clock was abandoned and 4:15 was put in place instead. Well, absolutely, and Laois, well, their big motivation last year after they lost to Dublin by 14 points to make amends.
And hard to know exactly where it stands for Dublin. I mean, they're going for their 3 in a row. They're doing as much as anyone is asking them as the season goes on. But sometimes, even though they're
playing today for the Delaney Cup, named in honour of Bill Delaney. That is Bill's granddaughter on the right-hand side. She's just seen herself on the big screen here at Croke Park, and their little son, Oisin. Bill's grandson, Eamon, also here. He was a selector with the Laois Minors. They were in action today. They've won another Leinster minor title. So today, well, the psychological, and I think Darren Rooney's gone into the Laois full back line. Tom Kelly, as he did in the second half or towards the end of the first half against Wexford, has moved to centre back. Michael Hughes from Tyrone, this is his first provincial final.
But Joe Higgins is actually at full back. What a big man to be playing full back. Is that Joe in the corner? I think it is.
And Alan Brogan has gone full forward for Dublin.
Yeah.
Dublin bidding for Leinster title number 47. Laois going for their 7th title. The full house signs up in Croke Park, and at Croke Park for quite a while. Going to be some game. The final underway. Laois with Brendan Quigley playing the ball forward. Out quickly is the new star of the team, Michael Tierney. Takes the freeze, but as you'll see, very good in open play. The under-21 man, Paul Lawler. The full forward has dropped it short. Easy for Stephen Cluxton, who picks his man to check out the sights into Hill 16. That looks really good. That is a peach of a free. Clancy winning that. That's Porrick McMahon. Now Tom Kelly into Tierney on the Dublin 45-metre line. Ryan working extremely hard. So is Griffin. The shot from McMahon on the left boot, and he's put it wide. Okay, Joanne, thank you. It was Henry who played the ball forward. Laois mopping it up pretty easily. Brian McCormack was to have started at left half back, now here on the right hand side. 12 is Bernard Brogan, the free taken already. Bino MacDonald. Here's an opportunity for Parkinson going with the fist. He scored a point with the fist against Wexford in the semi-final. That was the point that put them ahead, and that point there has brought them level in the 4th minute. Direct football from Laois, effective, all square.
A lovely flick in by Bino. He won the ball out in front. Parkinson, absolute excellent decision making. That's what was on. And he executed lovely. Narrow angle, good score.
Their 2 matches, they were awful in the first half against Longford, not much better against Wexford, who led by 4 points in the semi-final. Here's Barry Cahill having a very fine year in the half-back line. Jason Sherlock. It's Kelly who's with him and slapping him and foul. We're now after Vaughan's point in the Dublin team with 12 points. They like it on Hill 16, and there's the white flag. Dublin go into the lead again.
Freeze. 2 beauties, one off the floor, one out of the hands, one from the left and one from the right, and 2 different men doing it.
Here come Laois raiding through. This is Peter O'Leary. Again, not the biggest player in the world. Paul Lawler, physically much stronger. Movement from Bino MacDonald. O'Leary again from the O'Dempsey's club. He's hit that beautifully. That's a very fine score. And he just punches the air. Beautifully taken. The Laois right half forward. This is a corker.
It's a beauty. A lot of play beforehand, and I was saying in my head, these guys are getting bumped and pushed out all the time, and then O'Leary straightens it up, takes on the responsibility, and hits.
Collymore and the Dublin captain. Here's Brian Cullen. And Casey, that'll be quite a battle. McConnell is marked absent. Here's a chance for a goal. Cluxton made the stop. It's gone in. Ross Munnelly with the goal for Laois. It seemed the chance had gone and that Cluxton had kept it out. The Dublin fullback all at sea, Ross McConnell.
That's absolutely brilliant by MacDonald, because he knew that Ross had committed himself. Ross McConnell had committed himself. He stepped back. Now there's a little bit of loss of form. He hasn't the confidence. But look, Munnelly in like a bullet on the break, and he's going to slide it home, and that's what he does.
First goal conceded by Stephen Cluxton in the Leinster Championship this year. Didn't concede one in last year's Leinster Championship either. And Ross Munnelly, a player who they say has been struggling for Rooney. Keeney is a very tricky customer. Clancy comes to meet him. Here's Shane Ryan. It's a pretty intense start already, isn't it? Paul Casey. Casey drills that in. Brogan is underneath him with Higgins. Higgins did extremely well. That is going to be one of the battles of the afternoon, Higgins and Brogan. Higgins won that one. Darren Rooney drives out. Paul Lawler. Lawler sends it high. There's Ross Munnelly, a student in DCU. David Henry not near enough to Munnelly. Oh yes. The goal from Ross Munnelly was about a minute ago.
Well, isn't it amazing what a break? The goal has got his confidence up. Now he's out on the left wing, he's on the left foot, and that's just pure confidence. He's buzzing now.
1-1 today. David Henry up from right corner. That's for that. Bernard Brogan with the socks pulled up. Brogan jinking one way then the other. Now Conal Keeney. Keeney's been picked up by Cathal Ryan, and Keeney scored. First Dublin point in 3 minutes, keeping the scoreboard ticking over.
Oh, it is a smashing point. Bernard Brogan runs out options, but then flicks it in with the right boot. But Keeney, brilliant, flashes it over the bar. Here it is, great angle. Look at that. Oh, that's terrific score.
Bringing Paul Griffin with him. That wasn't a good ball. Well played, David Henry. Now it's Kieran Whelan. It's such an impressive sight when he runs at full tilt. Good pressure put on him by Peter O'Leary. Credit the half forward. Keeney going long this time. It's curling away to the left and picked up by Pádraig McMahon. Now it's Brian McCormack. They're finding gaps. Nobody's picking up Parkinson. Parkinson down. Free in.
No question. You can see it here coming across. Or was it himself, in fact? He tripped himself.
You don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, so I'll tell you about it after he takes the free. He likes it. What I was going to say was he's normally very, very reliable when he's straight in front of them.
Good tempo to their mat, to their play.
Oh. Here's Bernard Brogan. 14th minute at Croke Park in the 07 Leinster final. Brogan on the left boot. This could be tricky. Brilliant. What a super catch from Tom Kelly.
Big hit there from Alan Brogan.
Yeah.
A really big hit and a dangerous hit. Took out Tom Kelly. We're going to see this. This is coming out. Bang. Oh, that's very high, Alan Brogan. Oof. That is a nasty belt.
Kelly going with it. Here's Jason Sherlock. Hasn't seen an awful lot of it. Barry Cahill coming more into it for Dublin. Didn't want to shoot. Conal Keeney will. On the turn. Hasn't caught it. Peter O'Leary. Staying back in the half-back line, even though he is the number 10 on the back of his shirt. Here's Barry Cahill. Away from Bina McDonald. Ross Munnelly held onto it a little bit too long, I fear, Barry Cahill. He's picked up a lot of it. Brian McCormack. Tom Kelly to Michael Tierney. Tierney out in front of Griffin. Now he moves it, and the movement is from Ross Munnelly. A goal and a point to his name so far. Didn't have a look at the post. Oh, he was so unlucky. Off the woodwork. Munnelly up from cornerback. Griffin lets it move. Keeney, Jason Sherlock is free. Keeney hasn't seen it. Forced backwards. Here's Vaughan. Scored the first point of this game. He's going to have to wait for a second. He did manage to curl it. Dublin want to play on with Brian Cullen, but the referee, you could hear the whistle. There was 12 points he's got in the championship to date. Oh, wow. That's the way to take frees. Stick the ball on the ground no messing, just slotted over. That's beautifully taken. Just a goal between them. Vaughan has got half of their total. Paul Casey. Bit of a hospital pass, no chance really for Brian Cullen. Tom Kelly. Position he absolutely thrives in, where he has all the play in front of him and able to pick his spot, but he didn't manage it that time. Munnelly. David Henry again doing extremely well. Alan Brogan for Dublin. Higgins seems to hold him back again. Keeney's in there juggling with it. Brian Cullen, there's a free in.
Where did that free...
And an easy free for Mark Vaughan. Stephen Cluxton conceding that goal earlier on in the first half. Colin Parkinson. Paul Lawler. Barry Cahill in front of him. Michael Tierney. A lot of Laois players been drawn towards the ball. Now Dublin unable to get their tackles in. Brendan Quigley for Laois. Oh no.
That is from...
Barry Cahill. Jason Sherlock, no longer the impact sub, getting his chance to start today, yet to have a real impact on the game. Brogan, constant threat with Joe Higgins. Higgins has found it. Oh, Vaughan, as he managed to draw that in, we're right behind it. It looked as if it was going to go wide, but he
appreciated from that angle, but he hit that ball so hard. The bend that came into it, it looked about 10 foot wide when it left his boot, curled in quickly and
too bothered by it. 12th minute, the last time that Laois scored, and it was Tierney's point from a free, more central position. No trouble. I tell you, we've seen some wonderful free taking from Tierney and from Vaughan.
And when you realise that these guys are they're not here for years parading around Croke Park like marksmanship, ball striking at the highest order.
Must be something to do with the bleach in the hair.
Get me some.
Let's focus on the match. Here's Collie Moran. Colin Parkinson. Moran still. Second year as Dublin captain. Now Brogan keeps stealing a yard or two on Higgins, or maybe Higgins is giving him that space and inviting him to run on. Here's Bernard Brogan. Very nicely taken point. A family affair. Higgins wasn't close enough, and Bernard Brogan applied the finish.
Yeah, well, Michael Hughes played a very good advantage.
Some noise. He has got away from Darren Rooney. It's Ryan indeed is marking him, and the right foot not as reliable as the left, but it could still work out as a dangerous ball for Dublin. Well taken, Byron, and he just brushed Jason Sherlock aside. Did he do it legally though?
I would say he was quite lucky to get out of jail with that one. He should have concentrated on getting it to a defender, not taking on a Dublin attacker. But here we go with O'Leary.
O'Leary hasn't seen too much of it in the last few minutes. Laois still leading. That Munnelly goal decisive. Will this be a decisive move for Colin Parkinson? Yes, it will. 2 for him.
It's a brilliant angle by Parkinson. He just straightens up the play by coming in back door on Casey. He has no chance of recovering, and Parkinson slips it over. It's a great score. Here's Byron coming out. Now he's charging there. Well, that's the swings and roundabouts.
He managed to worm away. Here's Brian Cullen. Goal chance. Vaughan is free. Quigley with the challenge. It's a free in. That goal will not count.
No, he's giving it. He's giving it. He's giving it, Dara. He shouldn't be. There was a slightest step. Yeah, sometimes that signifies that he's playing advantage, but there was no advantage because the free had to be against Brian Cullen. He completely overcarries the ball. Dishes well to Vaughan. A great finish. No taken away from that. But Brian Cullen surely oversteps. Watch it here. Oh, there's a load of steps there, Dara.
8 steps, 7 at least before he hit the floor. Dublin leading. The first time since the Jason Sherlock in low to Keeney. Here's another chance. Bernard Brogan! What a 60-second spell for the Leinster champion.
What a lovely dip in by. Oh, what a finish. Keeney gives it to Bernard Brogan.
He is in front of Hill 16, but he's gone down injured.
on so quickly.
So problems for Kelly. Colin Parkinson, that's brilliant. Just using his body, Paul Casey committed himself, and Parkinson for Laois on the way. Dropping that short, no real pressure on Stephen. Paul Lawler around the corner, he didn't have a chance to look where the posts were. He perhaps should have taken maybe half a step to half time. No trouble, and having gone through the double blow of those two, McDonald, a good block down by Ross McConnell, and no trouble. 15 points.
Both teams are well on their way.
And it's taken it wide. At a great time for Laois in the 8th minute. It was a shock for Dublin, but Mark Vaughan has been one of the stars, scoring a vital.
I think the Dublin team should be an institution here in Left here. The atmosphere is fantastic. Football has been first class. The game is moving along. I think the referee has done a good job too, kept it moving. But it's been a blistering pace. But I think the statistics there hint at Dublin's strength and weakness. The 62% of the possession, which, you know, okay, statistics lie in some ways, but they have dominated possession. They're fantastic at hoovering up the ball, particularly on the break. But they don't convert as much of it, even though 2-7 is a good score. But Laois, on less possession, have 1-7, which is a very good score as well. But it's a most enjoyable game.
It is a one.
Liam Kearns involved in a couple of Munster finals with Limerick, when, I remember them a couple of years ago, losing to Kerry, going very close to beating them, but Laois are trailing by 3 points here. And Dublin into it straight away with Kieran Whelan. Whelan jinking inside away from McMahon, and Whelan has it back again. And that is just the sort of score that the Dublin players driving through. Persistence paying off.
He gets the break there, of course, with the pass, but you're dead right. When he flies through defences like that, here's a little bit of luck that you sometimes need, but there's the bit of ability that you definitely need. And he's
Parkinson. They need a score now. Casey with them. Parkinson into Hill 16, and he slotted that one over. And Parkinson having a fine Leinster final. That is his 3rd point in total.
He certainly is having a very, very fine Leinster final. He's concentrating totally on playing football. He's not getting distracted. What he's doing is he's just absolutely...
Stephen Cluxton going long this time. Oh, that's brilliantly taken. One cleanly by Brendan Quigley.
A wee bit when he catches it, but look at that. Oh, magnificent.
Tom Kelly. A Laois player, Michael Tierney, has been knocked to the ground off the ball. Here comes Paul Lawler. Oh dear. Going against the head, I suppose. Quigley can go left or right. With him now is Brian McCormack. 3 men all over the place. McCormack puts it over the top for the point. A goal chance though.
Well, he's going to take it. Quigley does brilliantly. Lovely transfer, but McCormack really has to be looking for one of the forwards, left or right. In fact, he does something a little funny with the ball. You'll see it here as well. When he jaw was just a little bit, but he's lying back, Dara. You got to be over the ball if you're going to stick those ones. He'll take it.
Great movement from Alan Brogan. The swing of the hips, and Brogan been forced away from the Laois goal at the moment, but now back on track, and he sent it wide. Just wondered about Kelly's fitness. There's great fitness and great pace from Peter O'Leary. Collie Moran left in his wake. O'Leary still going. Moran coming back strongly. Peter O'Leary blocked down by David Henry, I think it was Keeney. That's Higgins with him. Keeney on the trusty left boot. Has he nailed it? No, he hasn't. Brilliant from Keeney. Here's a chance. Can it be 3? Yes! Bernard Brogan scored a goal in the first. It's like a big moment in this Leinster final.
Well, there's the mismatch I was talking about. Keeney wins it beautifully in the air, links up, and a super finish. And it's lovely to see a player put it in the net, turn around with a big smile. That's the sort of celebration we want to see. It's a brilliant finish.
Sherlock got free, and he's got a free.
Yeah, he's been fouled.
4 from 5 frees. He's now scored 5 from 6. 2003 Leinster champions. Brogan dropped it. That was Conal Keeney's best effort, and Kelly hardly flinched. Now Vaughan. into the space. Tierney trying to get to that, but it's picked up. Laois are being cut apart. Ryan wants it from Jason Sherlock. Sherlock wants the point, but again he's put it wide on that. Something pretty quickly. I wonder, will Liam Kearns try and make a change or two to affect this game from the line? They're starting to pull away, and Laois need to do something very quickly.
Well, Brogan is first up. There's a lot of steps here, as you commented. Gets away with it. This is really good by Brogan. Pulls it out quickly, and he has the ability to go on to his left and swing it over. I'll tell you, if that's another foot, it's kind of a miss hit. If that's another foot lower, that's in the net.
Brendan Quigley. Here's Paul Lawler. They badly need a score. Oh, that was superb from Lawler. Henry made to look silly. Here's a chance. Oh! Off the crossbar. The shot was from Pádraig McMahon. Laois.
Was it Brian McCormick? In fact, McMahon that has it. Oh, that is inches. We saw him up a bit earlier. I thought he might give it back to the inside player, but he turns, has his own shot, and there's McMahon's screamer.
This is so open, and Alan Brogan, they're not doing that. Vaughan looking for one from play, and he's got it. It's a lovely ball in towards Parkinson. Colin Parkinson! Good stop by Cluxton. Out for the 45. That's a really good goal on their minds.
Well, they force wide, because that's good defending by Casey. And look at Cluxton. We've talked about how good a shot stopper he is. And Parkinson does most things right. If he keeps it a bit lower, he has a better chance, of course. Is at a nice height for Cluxton.
Hill behind the post, kicking into it in the second half. Now the referee having a word with Brendan Quigley and Ross McConnell.
So the Dublin players go very, very close to the free taker. It seems to be policy with them. They're right on the edge of 13 metres.
Tierney. Well, he had to wait a long, long time to actually leave that for the moment, but Beena MacDonald is gone off. Here is Billy Sheehan. Concerns about his fitness. Now Pádraig McMahon through again. McMahon! Well wide. And there's one of those short kickouts for Barry Cahill from Stephen Cluxton. Paul Lawler didn't put up much of a challenge at all, did he? Cahill came off the outside of his right boot. Conal Keeney trying to do an own mulligan on it, but they got a challenge on him. Here's Jason Sherlock on the left boot. The right hasn't been working. The left, 7 points between them, and the atmosphere's gone a little flat. Is this the time for Laois to try and pounce? O'Leary with the shot. Well, that's another way. He should really be driving on. Billy Sheehan will try and drive Laois on. Joe Higgins. It's Pádraig McMahon again. Billy Sheehan. They need a score. Brendan Quigley. Quigley trying to cut away through Collymore and pulled him down.
Yeah, they're working this one in a wee bit better. McMahon throws it into Parkinson.
It doesn't bring much. Will he get it this time? Oh, it's come off the woodwork and it's picked up by Brendan Quigley. That's a let-off for Laois. Another opportunity for J.O. He couldn't convert it, though. The concentration is gone, and here comes Brian McCormick driving through to Ross Munnelly on his trusty left boot. Oh, it's well taken by Brian.
That's a real desire by Quigley. He chased him.
Well, they need more of that desire further up the pitch. Paul Lawler. Brian McCormick. That's what to do or how to get by the referee. Higgins lets it forward again. They make a mistake.
And the effort that Dublin put into the early...
some 10 minutes. And Michael Tierney with the free. It drops in. Cluxton comes at the fist and nobody in a leash to run with the ball. Checked by Bernard Brogan. Sheehan still has it. Darren Rooney. Peter O'Leary free on the left-hand side, but Joe Higgins is going the other way. Higgins on the floor. There's McMahon. Eventually they get it to Tierney. Brilliant block down by Paul Griffin. That's super play. And they move it quickly. Barry Cahill.
Well, it's I suppose what you might call a good foul, because Barry Cahill has cut inside him, inside play off their game. They're not pretty, and those intervals, that's what...
He scored 2 points in the first half. Again, they hit the woodwork. How many times has that happened in the second half of this match? Another scoring opportunity, but they'll get one now. Here's Keeney cutting through, lost control of it in the challenge. And Laois once more let off the hook. Joe Higgins. Michael Tierney. 6 points between them. Laois have already hit the crossbar in this second half. Tierney teasing Paul Griffin, and Tierney drops it short. That's a super point. That's one of the scores of the day. Heading again.
That's a great score. Lovely little dish in from Keeney to Alan Brogan. And how many points have we?
3-12 to 111. 3-12 some score. Laois again seeking out another goal. Ross Munnelly just thrown to the ground by Brian Cullen. Throw being the operative word. That's a free in the second half, but nothing more than that. And that brings them back to a 2-goal margin again.
Laois fans are thinking of the pots that are going to be rolled out in about half an hour for the draw, because that's where they're heading.
Distant from Laois. Vaughan trying to pick a way through. That looks lovely. Second half, Dublin were 3-11 to 1-9 in front. And at that stage, there was no way back for Laois, or they didn't appear to be, even though, again, Quinn has Bonner to his right. And it's gone back into Bonner. Rooney lost it completely, I think, caught watching the ball. Keeney just took his eye off it. Tom Kelly moving back in closer to goal. Higgins. Colin Parkinson. Ger Brennan is going to come in for Dublin to replace Paul Casey. Here comes Parkinson. Oh, he was hit after he let go of the ball. Fitzpatrick in there. Great block again. Parkinson. Parkinson. A lot of curl on it. It's Brennan again. They've got him free. Brennan scores a point in the Leinster final about 30 seconds after coming in. He gets a lot of criticism as well as a lot of praise.
That's a nice little touch by Peter Caffrey as he jogs by him. He's done a great day's work, a really great day's work.
Billy Sheehan. 14 points Laois lost to Dublin in the semi-final last year. So much of that had to do with Pádraig Clancy going off injured. Billy Sheehan trying to bring it back to 6, which he's done. Dublin just too powerful for them to celebrate. Leinster title number 47. And I'm sure they couldn't believe in the Dublin goal. It was a key moment in the scoreboard moving for them with the first point after the restart. 1-14.